Hello everyone, I'm Sumit Raj and I'm an MBA graduate and a serial caretaker for 3 years. So today I'm here to discuss my strategy to how to score 90 plus in quantitative aptitude. And in the background you can see the number of calls that I got during my time. It was a COVID era, and how much colleges I have converted. You can see I have converted Raipur, Kasipur, Udaipur, and a college in southern India, and also some of the IITs, and got a call from IIM Mumbai and IIT Delhi, IIT Madras. So yeah, it was a roller coaster ride, and now I'm in Britain, and I'm here from last 1 year. And what motivates me to make this video is that by living here, I understood that you're just not a part of your family, but also a part of a society, and you need to contribute. That may be very small, what we can say in maths, dy by dx. So I'm here to give it back to my society, my experience that I had of over 6 years, including my MBA from Southern India. So we are going to discuss a lot more. And one more thing, I'm sorry if I get deviated from the topic because there is so many things to discuss, and we have a limited time slot. But if I have deviated too much, you can write down in the comments. I would like to cover in the next video. This video is a bit about me, my experience, and how to score 90 plus in quantitative aptitude in the next 3 months. So moving to the next slide, let's see what's there for you. So yeah, here it's a brief about me. As you can see, I have given CAT successively for 3 years, uh, in 2017 in Delhi NCR, 2018 my location was Mysuru, and in 2019 my location was in Pune. And you can see I successively scored 80 plus in the quant and touching around highest 96 in 2017. That was considered one of the easiest paper for the quantitative aptitude. And in LRDI, I successively moved to the higher percentile year on year. And VARC was not my strong zone. And however, I managed to clear the cutoff by successively getting above 80 percentile. And you can also see my educational background. I'm an OBC engineer, so I have scored around 75%. I'm also going to discuss some of the facts like you may not get on the other YouTube videos because they are reluctant to discuss it, but that's the truth. I was also once an aspirant like you, and I've gone through this journey, so I know some hidden truth that hardly people discuss, and I would like to cover those things in my YouTube channel. And so yeah, moving ahead, in class 12th I scored around 82% in CBSE, in class 10th 89% in ICSE board. And though it's hard to get, but I filed an RTI to know my personal interview and VAT score because I was a successive CAT taker and I want to know where am I getting wrong. That's why I filed an RTI, and then they told me my score in PI as well as written ability test. And yeah, I didn't quit. I didn't take a gap for the CAT. So yeah, because there is a work experience in some of the colleges, it's getting added. So I was working with a IT tech company. And the right at the right bottom, you can see I have noted down the benefits of good aptitude. It's just related with the CAT. As during my time, I had worked with a Samsung, uh, I had worked with a TCS, and what the common thing I found that the initial shortlisting criteria was a good aptitude. Means you need to be a cross a certain level of questions in aptitude in order to be get shortlisted for the next round. That's why Quant also plays a very good role, just not with the CAT, but with other exams, and that may be related to the government exams. Yeah, I'm a person who told you and who will tell you till the last, just not dependent on the cat. Yeah, if you clear in the first attempt, that's good to go. But there are some other exams also. Try to focus on that. And it's not that good idea, to leave one complete year to the for cat preparation. Why so? Because I have a huge experience, not just mine, but also of my friends who has gone through this journey. My journey was 4 years. Some people is having journey of 6 years, and one of my friend from NIT, that from the topmost NIT, say Warangal or Trichy, and prepared for the CAT and was one of the excellent mm, uh, student working in the IT company, getting very good percentiles in the mocks, still not able to convert. So yeah, means there is a lot to discuss. Moving to the next uh, slide. All right. So during my time, quantitative aptitude was of 1 hour section, and it was usually at the last. Currently, I'm also thinking, you quant is at the last after the VRC and the LRDI. So right now, if you look at the patterns, if look at the patterns of last 5 years, you need to fetch around 8 net correct questions to get around 95 percentile, and net 6 correct questions to get into the 90 percentile. So you can see even at the 99 percentile, you total number of questions for 22 asked in the cat. However, you need to solve just 15% questions correct in order to get the 99 percentile. I'm not talking about the 99, 98. Why so? Because I also don't get it. However, some of my friends got it into the zone of 98, 99. And I know what's their strategy, what they are doing. So don't just get, deviated from the fact that you need to solve all the 22 questions. But yes, you need to go through all the 22 questions in order to understand which one need to select and which one need to leave. That's why spending more than 2 minutes per question is justified. Let me see, can I go back to my screen? Yeah, actually, that's a bad thing about the uh, PowerPoint presentation, that I can't go back. All right. So now I'm coming to the more important and the most specific things that need to people is having in their mind. Some of the very good questions people are having their mind. I was also as aspirant, so I was also having those questions in my mind. So let's go around those questions, like how to prepare for the quant and how to deal with the consistent low score. So yeah, before moving to that slide, I would like, I think if you are not new to the preparation zone, you must be knowing that the quant topics are distributed into the four part: arithmetic, geometry, algebra, and the modern math. And I have also, put down the uh, graph of representatives of the particular arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and modern maths uh, in the quant sections. So you can see around 10, 11 questions. That's a 50%. That's a huge 50% covered in the quant sections and algebra, geometry. And I can also, jot down what were my strong points while I was preparing for the CAT. So, like arithmetic, I was a bit strong. Algebra, I was okay. I was not that good in geometry because it's more of formula oriented. And in geometry, the type of questions are very vast, and yeah, it can be tweaked anyway if it's easy, medium, and difficult. So I tried to solve the easy ones for the geometry and modern maths. So you can see what are the uh, topics you need to cover. So unless you are a first timer, you must be knowing this, that these are the topics are covered. I would tell you how to prepare for it. So moving to next slide. This is my last slide. And yeah, so the very question is, sir, I'm a new student. I don't know anything about the CAT quant section. What should I do? So today is my day one and 90 days to go. For those students, I want to say that it's better to take a crash course offered by Career Launcher or Time or IMS. It's and I would also advise it's better to go and attend the class there. Say, in order to cover the quant syllabus, I would say it would take around, if you're starting day one from right now, it would take around 45 days to cover the entire syllabus. Now, let me tell you uh, how was my day one. It would be like for each section regarding to the arithmetic, each topics. Uh, I was a CL student, so 20 questions were for the each topic were provided in the form of a daily practice paper, or you can say DPP. I used to solve this in order to make my base correct for each of the topic. So that's the thing you need to do for the next 45 days. And for the rest of the 45 days, I would advise better start with the sectional mock. I would also tell you that it would be good idea to take a online mock test series of the time as well as CL, or you can go to the IMS and take the uh, online packages they are offering in terms of 15 GB, 50 GB, 5,000 to 6,000 INR. You can easily get spend those monies, because anyways you are going to spend around 3 to 4,000 rupees on the MBA prep uh, form. So I would say better take uh, package either of IMS or CAT or CL or CL or uh, time. Take those and try to solve the sectional uh, what to say sectional test for the quant that comprises of 1 hour. So after 45 days you are going to solve the sectional test for 1 hour, and you are going to note your performance, because say the preparing for the exam is a different thing, sitting in the exam is a different thing, sitting on the D-Day is a totally different thing. So my advice for those people who are new and about to go and give the CAT in the next 90 days, it's better to clear the sectional. Uh, it's better to clear the basics of the quant sections by preparing for the first 45 days. Now I am coming for the people who are preparing for the CAT from the last 12 months or over. What should they do? So I'm assuming they have covered the whole syllabus of the quant. They have gone through all those questions which has been asked in the last 4 or 5 years. So what to do next? After solving all the after uh, solving all the quant questions of the last 5 years, going through the syllabus and daily practice questions of the quant, you are at the stage to identify which are your strong zones, which are your weak zones, which are your okay zones, as I mentioned in my slide earlier. So you are now at a stage to look at these questions and take a decision whether it's in my zone or should I leave it. So there are 22 questions. In my time there were 33 questions need to be solved in 60 minutes. So what I did, I used a rotation. Uh, I used a rotation strategy. What's a rotation strategy? My aim in the question paper was to pluck easy questions from the question number 1 to question number 33. I never want me that I in a situation that I have reached question number 24 and there is time up. You can't even see those 9 questions. That's the most terrible thing you can do in the exam. So what you need to do, by from my perspective, and you have already solved those questions, by reading the questions you can see that, you can understand that, like how much time it will be required to solve the questions. So that is done by practice and the practice, which are in my zones, which are my out of zones. And also one more thing, you are an experienced candidate, you already had taken the CAT, so you know it, like what am I good at, how to know. You must be looking at the mock scores. Okay, say I'm able to solve 7 net correct questions, 8 net correct questions in the mock, 6 net correct questions in the mocks. So by this time you are able to understand if my speed, if my accuracy is about 8 to 10 questions, I can expect in the D day, on the D day, to be in the same range, +2, -2. You can't expect that if you are getting, say, net 7, 8 correct, on the exam day, you are going to get 13, 14 correct. That's just something utopia. You need to understand this fact. And mock is the actual mirror you will get it. That's why solving mock is very, very important. So learn from the mock scores. Let me also come to the mock scores, not just with the quantitative aptitude and verbal ability. You can say that things are changing in the LRDI, but in the quantitative aptitude and the verbal ability, if you are scoring around 80 percentile in the mocks, you can expect around 90 percentile in the test, on the D day. That's 10 plus 10. And if you're scoring around 90 percentile, that's very good. You are going to expect around 95, 96 percentile on the D day. With respect to the, I'm talking about verbal ability and the quantitative aptitude. LRDI is totally game changer, and I would include in the other video if you guys comment in the YouTube section. Now I'm going to move to the next question: how to clear 80 percentile cutoff, right? Because I have seen the people's profile, even in the people who get into the IMs, they scored around 98 percentile in the VARC, say 90 percentile in the LRDI, and in the quantitative aptitude they have just attained 75, 76 percentile, though they managed to get into the IMs through NCOBC or EWS. However, for general candidate, if you are getting less than 80% or the say 70 percentile, all the doors are almost closed for you. So that thing you need to keep in your mind, that clearing 80 percentile is the minimum thing you can do in the CAT. So how to clear 80 percentile cutoff? See, getting 90 percentile in the quantitative aptitude takes around 6 questions. So I would say it's my advice, better to score above 90 percentile. Don't think about 80 percentile. Why so? Because the gap between 80 percentile and the 90 percentile in the current scenario of 40 minutes, it would be just 1 or 2 questions. If you do 1 or 2 questions wrong, you would get into the 80. If you do 2 or 3 questions right, you would get into the 95. So I would say try to score to the, try to strategize yourself that I'm going to do the attain the 90 percentile in the quantitative aptitude, because going for the 80 won't take you there, because 1 or 2 marks will fluctuate a percentile at a very higher rate as compared to when you move into the zone of the 99 and the 98. So it's better to strategize 90 percentile strategy that I'm going to get in the paper. So, and I already told that arithmetics is a bit, I think I find myself easy. You need to find yourself, if, like, which section is going to be easy for you. So on which you can bank about it. Like if I get around 6 arithmetic questions, I'm sure that I'm going to solve 4 arithmetic questions right on the exam day. Forget about the 100% accuracy. That's something utopia. So for the people who are thinking of clearing cutoff, my advice is better to score, better to think about scoring 90 percentile, and in 40 minutes I believe that you can solve around 5 to 6 questions by picking correct questions out of those 22 questions, right? Now we are going to move to the qualities of 98 plus percentiler. I'm also going to utter some bitter truth that coaching institute is not going to tell you, because everything is not fairy, everything is not on the cloud 9. Out of 30 students enrolled in a coaching institute, say CL Ghaziabad or CL Bangalore or Time New Delhi, out of 30 only 10% students, say around 3 to 4 students, have a caliber, or they prepared themselves at such a great strength that they are scoring 98 percentile. What about those 27 students? Nobody talks about them, nobody cares about them. Everyone wants to say that I'm a 98, 99. It's okay, but what about the rest of the students? They have also put down the efforts. So nobody tells about what to do with those students. I'm also going to discuss these points in the next slides, like what not if not 98, what not if not 95. So now coming to the correct questions, qualities of the 98 plus percentiler. 98 plus percentiler usually have given around 10, at least 10 to 20 mocks, and in those mocks they are consistently getting around 95 plus, 96 plus, 97 plus, say 95 to 97 percentile. If you're scoring around 95 to 97 percentile in the mock exams, then you're confident on the D-Day. I'm a guy who is going to give the 98 percentile. I'm repeating, mock is the mirror that you would get around. Something, if some miracles are happening, but you don't want to get into the IIMs by miracle. You want to get into the IIMs by putting down the efforts, right? So 98 percentiler already able to solve around 10 to 12 questions in the mock exams. They are getting around 95 percentile. They know which are their strength, which topics are need to be covered, which topics need to be left out. And usually, to be honest, being an engineer is a bit easy to score into the 98% because we studied maths till class 10th. We studied maths in engineering. Again, we are studying maths for the CAT. So we are in a habit of getting the numbers right. So as compared to the non-engineer, chances of engineer is getting into the 98 percentile for the quantitative aptitude is bit higher, right? Now moving to the next question. what would be the good practice material? So I would say, in order to create the base, follow the daily practice paper questions for each of the topic so that your base could be clear. Secondly, it's very good idea to take an online material. Even you are enrolled in the CL career launcher, take an online material of times, and try to solve the sectional test, try to solve the online particular arithmetic questions, particular time distance questions. And I would say, if you are a new, try to be in between level 1 and level 2, because what I feel, if you are not sticking around 99, better go for the level 1 level 2 questions and leave out the level 3, so that you can also leave the difficult questions on the examination stick. So take a online material of the any coaching institute, reputed coaching institute, and try to solve as much as questions. Try to make a diary of the questions which has been asked in the last 10 years and you're doing wrong, and that need to be correct. So that's how you learn, by solving in a time frame situation. I would say you also learn, to reach at the last questions. So it's always a very best idea to, whenever you practice online, practice with the time schedule, or maybe the timer given on the online sections, that it need to be complete. And in all, say you're solving an arithmetic 15 questions and the timer is like 18 minutes. So in those solving practice questions also, try to reach to the 15 at the end of the 18 minutes. So these qualities of reaching at the end of the questions won't come on the exam day or on the mock papers. It would be built inside. Okay, this one I need to touch, this one I need to leave, this one I need to spend some time. Okay, I'm not getting the answer, I need to move on. It's okay in the exam also if you spent around 10 to 12 minutes on the first 4 or 5 questions and you're not able to solve. It's okay, maybe the paper is tough. It's not just tough for you, but it's for the everyone. Why so? Because you already know your strength in the mocks, that I am good at. I have solved all the varieties of the mocks, from the easy to the moderate to the difficult levels. So that's why it shows the importance of attempting the mocks. That's why attempting mocks and giving around at least 10 mocks before the exam. However, my journey was of 4 years. I've given around more than 40 mocks for the CAT exam. So attempting mocks is paramount. And the next question, what are the important topics for the 90+ percentiler? I would say, for me it was the arithmetic. For most of the people it is still the arithmetic, profit and loss, time, speed, distance, and probability, permutation, combinations. However, the problem with the geometry, what I find, the syllabus is vast, the one thing. Second, it is based on some rules that you need to know, that may not click on the exam day until and unless you practiced a lot. So my take would be like, it's better to tackle the arithmetic. If you say around, forget about the rest of the questions. In the exam, you get around, out of 22, you get around 10 questions from the arithmetic. From those 10 questions, if you are able to solve 6 questions, 60% accuracy, you are in the 90 percentile zone, my brother. You are in the 90 percentile zone. That will solve your headache of not getting into the 90 or 80 zones of the quantitative aptitude. Next, what to do if you are getting consistently low score. If you're consistently getting low score, say around 50 percentile, 60 percentile, 40 percentile in the mock, then I would advise, it's my call. I have seen from my experience, better to cut down the syllabus by 50% by just taking around the arithmetic and modern maths and uh, one more sections. Forget about the, like, for me, if I was getting consistently low score, I forgot about the geometry for the time being. My criteria is not to, you know I'm knowing my strength is VARC. I'm okay in the LRDI. I need to cover the quantitative aptitude. So I'm happy with touching 80 so that I just clear the sectional cutoff of the AMS. Right? So better to cut down the syllabus. Also talk to the teacher as much as possible. Talk to the instructor. Talk to the people where you are enrolled. Coaching instructors have a vast experience. Try to, strike with them. Take a one-on-one call of 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So these are the things I did and it's not working out. What should I do? I am good at the other sections, but I'm not able to clear the uh, quantitative aptitude. So what should I do? So it's my advice, consult with the teachers. They are in this industry for over 10 years or 12 years. So they are definitely going to guide, they are definitely going to identify what are your weak sections. But before going to your instructor, it's very good idea, like what the work you did. You are going to tell, sir, I solved 5 mock scores, 5 mock exams. I sold around 20 sectional tests, and these are my scores. So give the amount of data to your instructor so that the instructor can, you know, uh, come at the conclusion where is the weakness. So it's just not like that. I have solved around 2 mocks and 2 sectional test, and I get demotivated that I'm getting low scores. That doesn't work out. You need to put the effort first, then the instructor is going to help you. Right. Now, the next important question is, what are the possible impacts of D-Day scenario on performance? Even if I let me talk, it's a personal question, and I would take it at large scale as possible so that you can understand from my experience. D-Day scenario. D-Day scenario can turn out to be very different from the mock exams based on the difficulty, based on the location of the exam. Let me tell you, I had attempted the CAT to 2017 in Delhi NCR, and at that time, TCS Ion Digital, center were there, and it was a very good uh, exam setup they provided me on the day of the exams in 2017. It was like rooms are well ventilated, and desktop are at correct length so that you can read out just straight from aligning from your eyes. Questions are coming to the point, and you're just solving like in the normal environment, like uh, how you used to give a mock. However, things changed drastically when I was enrolled, when I was in Mysuru, and I had given the CAT there. The rooms were compact, though it was a digital ion center, but the rooms were compact. There were no much space uh, between the two seats, and that's the truth. And no ventilation, and the paper was also tough. So you can imagine the scenario. You know, the surroundings were different where I had given my initial, where I had given my lot of mocks, and it impacted my score. I drifted from 91 to the 83. Though I prepared a lot, still uh, that day things didn't work. but I was persistent. I know I can do it. I had a job with me. That's the important thing I am going to tell you. Uh, Quitting everything and preparing for a cat, that won't be my suggestion, because cat is not like GMAT. It's happening once in a year. At least EIEEE is happening twice a year. At that D-Day something wrong happens. You have gone. Your whole preparation gone. Your all those 20 IM calls are almost eliminated. So it's better to have a backup while preparing for the cat, right? So yeah, and moving ahead, then I get posted in my uh, IT company at Pune, and luckily I got a very good uh, environment, uh, very good, what to say, setup. That was very aligned with, that was much better in the Pune, that was much better than the Delhi. And room was cool and ventilated, lot of space, so you feel like, you know, you are at much ease in the examination hall. So I am going to point to it again. All the examination center doesn't provide those ease of giving the test. So, and there could be an impact on your performance too, but no one is going to tell you that. They are just going to tell you, we have allotted you a system, we have given the center you want, but you don't know what's going inside the center, how the desktop is placed. So these things, you know, does play an impact on your score, and to be honest, you can't do anything. Nothing is on the, what I can say, that nothing is standardized uh, as compared to the examination center. Things are changing. That's a drawback. So, and also I would say that the possible impact of D-Day scenario and performance. I scored 97 percentile in logical reasoning and data interpretation with 100% accuracy. I'm talking, I have said this word a lot more times. That's a utopia. Getting 100% all those 13 questions out of 13 questions correct. It's okay, means I did on the examination day, but but in the examination you can go around with 80% accuracy. And my LRDI was not that good. However, uh, my quantitative aptitude, I have, you know, missed some of the good questions on the examinations day, as I expecting, as I was expecting to be 95 plus in, at least in the quantitative aptitude, but things didn't go that way. Yeah, so things did change. Let me share you one of the scenario of the experience of one of my friends. He's an NIT graduate, consistently scoring around 98 percentile, but due to one or another factor, somehow LRDI gets dropped below 80. Somehow VRC may not go in that way. So that's a part of journey. That's why I'm telling, not too dependent on the cat. If you're a good student, you can go for the NMAT, you can go for the SNAP, if you can go for the JAT. Just, it's good, yeah, it's looking good. It's to be honest, uh, very good to tell people that people know about Indian Institute of Management. But I'm here for learning. I can also get from Narsi Munji. I'm going to put the effort. Companies are also coming there. I'm going to the uh, Axelrai. They are also very one of the reputed institutions. So it's okay, just not to limit with the CAT, but also with other examinations. I have too much to talk about, but yeah, now I think we are hitting a 40 minutes uh, in this call, so it would be better if you comment down section if you want to know anything specific about the cat and about my experience and about anything related to the MBA. I'm trying to make the video on those topics too. Thank you and have a good day.